just what it takes for it, pouring something to the world, willing to erase what I'd lose for it, to accept what I assume. So I'm pulling the anchor and drifting away, blinded by reason beyond disarray. It's what fire cannot burn. It's what fire cannot searching for something.
Yeah! Searching for something. We're searching for Tuesday night. Some Tuesdaying. That is the phrase that pays right here. St. Ricketts with Fire Cannot Burn. www.sricketts.com. It is the theme song, the awesome theme song to another amazing Tuesday night episode of The Yo Show.
Yo.
Yo. Indeed, I am Jeff the Shark Perini, ready for another amazing Tuesday night. With me, as always, she is the co-hostess with the mostest, the sister from another mister. And gosh golly, the most beautiful face in podcasting, broadcasting, webcasting, simulcasting, bodycasting, cast of characters. That's it, I forgot. Jewel Tatey, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I forgot.
Cast iron skillet.
Cast iron skillet. There's a good one. I like that. Way to go. Good evening, Jewel. How we doing?
Good evening. How we doing? Where'd your beard go?
That's right. You have not seen me. Nachus is in the house. Yo, Nachus. So I didn't post a picture either. I'll try to get it up for you in a little bit. So this past weekend,
no beard. You got rid of the beard.
There is beard there. It's a shadow beard. So this past weekend, Murphy's Beef and Ale, which is one of my favorite places. Of course, the great George Powell of Poeta loves it as well.
Yeah.
They had they had an 80s party. So I put on like my white suit, my powder blue t-shirt, kind of like the Miami Vice look. And I'm like, nobody had big beards in the 80s. So I took a trimmer to it. And now I absolutely hate it.
Oh my God.
How do I hate it? I'm not going to lie.
I'm really sad you did not tell me about the 80s party or the beard shaving.
I swear I told you about the 80s party. Beard shaving, I did not. And it's been a shock. I walked into work and everyone's like, what? It looks ridiculous.
I can't say I'm trying to see it on TV.
I'm looking at myself on TV and I look stupid. It's different, all right. It's ridiculous.
You do look younger. I was going to say that too.
Aw, thank you, Steph. The Mrs. Cassie Perini in the house. I'm going to tell you a story about Cassie, why tonight is so significant in a moment. And I do look younger. Thank you, Stephanie, for tuning in. Stephanie is trying to get on board with me Monday night to go see Rob Zombie. I'm definitely down for that. And
Friday, right?
Friday. I'm sorry. Did I say Monday? Friday.
You did.
Right, Friday. Oh, my God. She's going to yell at me.
Monday on your mind.
She's going to yell at me. Beard is coming back, indeed. So
Wife says it, you do it.
You ain't kidding. Snap, snap of the fingers. Tonight, Jewel, I'm stoked. This one is great. We get so many different great acts, and tonight's a big one. And it is a band by the name of Whole Damn Mess. And now I got beard at me looking at that one beard, and I'm like, where's my beard? And I feel stupid. Anyway, Whole Damn Mess tonight at around 8:30. And here's the significance I was talking about. So they were recently in Philly at City Winery. They opened for Candlebox. It was an acoustic show with Candlebox and Kevin Martin, Brian Quinn. Whole Damn Mess was the opening act. I had tickets that night, and as you know, I also had a guest plan that night, so I had to cancel my going. My wife went, her girlfriend Allison went, and she starts sending me all these pictures, like, this is the band, and these are the guys, and I met this band, and I'm like, yeah, pretty cool. So, and she said, I kind of opened up the gate for you, mentioned your show. They said, hit our people up, and we'll see if we can get on. They're here tonight. It's Whole Damn Mess. Because she's picture again, because it's a great looking bunch of rock stars. You know what I mean? That's a bunch of rock stars right there. I'm excited for it. It's Don Miggs, C. Todd Nielsen, Lawrence Katz, and Greg Hansen, and they'll be with us around 8:30. Now, I didn't ask Jewel because I've been running around like crazy. Not quite sure who we're getting. Might get the whole band, which is super cool. Their PR woman, Jackie, did a great job really getting the emails out there and crossing the T's and dotting the I's and running out of breath. Later on, I'm going to show the guys a great piece of merchandise they got together for my wife, which is just, it's super, super cool. So we'll get to that shortly. It already looks like they're trying to make their way on. I see Lawrence backstage. We'll get the guys on in a few minutes from Whole Damn Mess. So excited. Jewel, I got a top 5 tonight. Like we always do top 5. And I love it because Whole Damn Mess to me is such a cool band name. I think it's just freaking great. So our top 5 tonight is top 5 coolest band names. I didn't want to be biased and put them in there because they're on the show. I don't want Butt Kiss. I'll Butt Kiss when they come on about how great their music is and all. But not before that. So I will start with my top 5 coolest band names. And number 5 is Anthrax. And the reason why, great band, great hard music, but when your name of a band can turn to a national tragedy and people still love you, that's something. Remember a couple years back they had the Anthrax scare, and people still love them. I'm with that. Anthrax number 5. Number 4, Smashing Pumpkins. I got to tell you, the band in time turned me a little bit, but I still love the name Smashing Pumpkins. Great name. Love it.
I still love
Number
the band.
I love it. I like the band. I don't say love. I like the band. Number 3 is Slipknot. Forgot to wear my Slipknot shirt tonight, although I did with my coffee, beer, whiskey shirt. Number 3 is Slipknot, one of my absolute favorite bands. Great name. Number 2, of course, Iron Maiden. I just love that name inside and out. And, of course, number 1, anybody that knows me knows my number 1 band of everything is Guns N' Roses. That is my list. Jewel Tatey, very excited to hear your top 5 coolest band names.
Who didn't see that coming?
Right.
Guns N' Roses. I wanted to delve deeper into the origin, why the band names are the band names.
Oh, I like that. Leave it to you. You're always the deep digger in that stuff, and I love it because you always do that awesome research.
I mean, you always learn something. Learn
Sure.
something new every day. This is in no particular order. Number 5, Velvet Underground.
Ooh, nice.
I love the band, but what a smooth name. Velvet Underground sounds like a speakeasy with velvet walls. But Venus and Furs, they had that song Heroin. They're a good band.
I like it.
I like that band. Number 4 was Question Mark and the Mysterians. I know, 96 Tears.
Oh,
I don't know where
okay.
they got their name, but
It's a great song, too.
yeah, it trips people up when you're like, oh, who sings this? And you're like, Question Mark and the Mysterians sings it.
That's great trivia, dude. I'm telling you. You always bring it.
Number 3, Butthole Surfers. That's just a given. I just
Oh,
like the
that's a
name.
great... Dude, I can't believe I did not put that. That is phenomenal.
I
And
think
another...
butthole is the funniest insult. Joey was trying to tell me something, and she's like, you know the word when it's like a bottom circle. I'm like, are you trying to say butthole? She's like, yeah, I didn't know I could say that. I'm like, I think butthole is so funny. I really think it's funny.
Love it.
Anyway, number 2, Ween. And
Oh, yeah.
they're my boys from New Hope, PA, and they're very psychedelic, weird, and all over the place. They did that one song for SpongeBob, Ocean Man. But yeah, I was like, Ween has to be something funny. It just sounds funny. It has to be something fun. Of course, it's a nonsensical name that Gene and Dean came up with. And then number 1 was Portishead. And I thought this was some weird, nod to something or other. No, it's a town. It's a town in the United Kingdom. I had no idea. The band is from Bristol, and Portishead is a town not far, I guess, where they're from. But you learn something new every day, I'm telling you.
You sure do. And I always wonder when you... Because I know you're a big Portishead fan. And I always like... And then I looked it up. I'm like, that's like nothing like I thought it was. It's like
No.
Portishead.
Like,
And...
is that a Dorsethan?
Right? It's just a town. That kind of makes it boring.
That's a town. Yeah, pretty
Anyway,
boring.
no
Their
disrespect.
their
the
music is not boring. Big
Right,
fan.
exactly. No disrespect, the Whole Damn Mess, if any of these names are not as cool as your band name. I see Don Miggs is also backstage. We're going to get the guys out here in just a few minutes. I'm very excited. Let's go back real quick. Top 5 list. Mine. Coolest band names is the subject in honor of Whole Damn Mess coming on this evening. Number 5, Anthrax. Number 4, Smashing Pumpkins. Number 3, Slipknot. Number 2, Iron Maiden. Number 1, tied, Guns N' Roses. Whole Damn Mess. That's right. It's like my favorite name. I gotta get some Whole Damn Mess merch.
It's my life. I'm a whole
My
damn
wife's
mess.
got the hat. My wife said.
I
my wife
love
said,
the
"Be
hat. The hat's
She
awesome.
said, "Be careful what you do with my hat." But I gotta show the guys the hat. But she's like, "Be careful with my hat."
Yo, give props to Cassie Perini for
Right,
coming
man?
through and an amazing guest. I also want to give a shout out because we wouldn't be sitting here today if it weren't for her. But happy birthday, Chrissy Leaf. It's her birthday
yeah.
today.
Absolutely, this is Chrissy Lee's birthday. Happy birthday,
She
Chrissy.
introduced me and Jeff,
Yeah.
so big birthday shout out to you.
I
Miss
saw
M.
that earlier. I snapped the picture because I snapshot things I want to talk about on the show sometimes in case I miss writing them down. And that's on the snapshot. I didn't look yet because I'm.
Okay, sorry.
But yeah, if it wasn't for Chrissy, we wouldn't be here. Jewel came back with Velvet Underground, question mark, and the Mysterians. That's a goodie. The Butthole Surfers, one of my favorites. They're actually really
My
good bands,
favorite
too.
insult.
One of your favorite bands, Ween, and your other favorite, Portishead. A great topic tonight, top 5 coolest band names in honor of our cool band name, of course, Whole Day Mess, who'll be with us shortly. We'll bring the guys out. They're already backstage getting ready. I freaking love it. I'm very excited for these guys. I've been listening to their tunes, loving it. My wife said she had a blast seeing these guys at City Winery. I'm just mad, Jewel, because it just so happened the tickets fell on a Tuesday night, and I'm like, and we had a really good guest lined up. I'm like, what do I do? She said, what do you mean? What do? You go to the concert? I'm like, yeah, but pass on the show.
Well, the
So-
band tonight will see your dedication to your
Truth.
show that you have.
Truth.
So, should be a great night.
That's what we do here. We're all about the guest, and like, you know, sometimes like people are like, oh, do this and try to make money doing that and etc. I'm like, I ain't worried about that. I'm worried about like the awesome bands we have. And as you know, the summer is packed, and you get a band of this magnitude coming on the night, and you're like, I was nervous all day, Joel. Absolutely sweating it out all day. People at work are like, who you got tonight? I'm like, Whole Damn Mess. And one guy's like, I heard of them, and you know, we start playing the music for everybody, and they were digging it. So, you know, we're pretty stoked for this. This is how we do it. We get jacked up for Tuesday nights. Real quick, before we bring the guys out, and we always, you know, we do our celebrity props, whether good or bad. And of course, a rest in peace to a terrific actor, Jewel. Gentleman just passed the other day, of course, from Goodfellas himself, Paul Sorvino. It just passed away the other day. She's a terrific actor, and it's sad. It's sad when people that, excuse me, I'm getting all choked up. When you see actors that you watch all these years and you love their movies and love their characters, that they pass away, it's tough. And, you know, our outlet, I don't know if it'll ever reach anybody that Paul may know, but, you know, rest in peace and prayers for his family. And, of course, his daughter's a great actress as well.
I
known
had
from
no
Goodfellas.
idea they were related.
Yes, that is his daughter.
That's his daughter?
Yes.
Wow.
And I love her, too. She was in this Marilyn Monroe movie years back. She's terrific. Haven't seen
And we
much of her
just-
lately, but
Yeah, well, yeah. And we just lost James Caan and Paulie from Sopranos. Like, man, we're losing a lot of people.
Ray
lately.
Liotta, everybody's like, it's a
Ray
gangster.
Liotta.
thing.
Yeah, Ray Liotta. Jeez.
Everybody's like, man, we're losing all the gangsters. Well,
And they were just, I feel like, well, Ray Liotta was just in that new thing. Have you seen this Gray Man? Everyone's talking about that. Gotta
no,
watch
I've
it.
heard a lot about it.
Yeah.
I don't Netflix like you and the wife do. I don't.
I mean, Stranger Things, yes, but everything else, I don't know. Take it as it comes.
I decided it's coming time to watch Stranger Things. I'm like the only guy on earth I think
Very
that's
good.
not watched it. I watched like half of an episode here and half of an episode there.
I dig it.
I gotta get
You
it.
should dig it, being, fan of the
I do
80s.
dig it. I definitely dig
80s
it. I think
movies.
it's cool, but it just. So the other thing, like, I mean, lately, as you know, and again, we don't like to talk about it, but you got to talk about it. The Facebook world is just really crimping. I was going to say
Crimping?
That's wrong.
Crushing.
Clamping down
Crushing
on
our souls.
right, clamping down on the music that we play, etc. So as much as I wanted to play some Whole Damn Mess for the folks tonight, they tend to censor us when we play music, so we had to watch what we do tonight. So we'll just talk to the guys and we'll chat about their music and all that, and I'm pretty excited. we'll give him a few more minutes to get set up. If Lawrence just went off for a minute, so we'll wait till they get back. We'll talk to Don. We'll talk to Lawrence Katz from the band, and we'll talk about their recent tour and all that. It's just great. Super stoked, especially for bands that are back on the road because, as you know, pandemic, a lot of people weren't on the road. A lot of people were shutting down. We haven't been to a concert in a while. So, we'd like to hear what the vibe is like out there now that everybody's back at them. And, we're definitely dying to talk about that as well.
I know, and they just played City Wineries too. I have yet to go to a show. I bought my parents tickets to go see Max Weinberg there. Heard it's a great venue.
very cool.
It's just looks very great place to see some music, and we have a ton of those places here in our city of brotherly love. But that seems like a special venue. Definitely want to go to that.
I'm jealous because like the tickets were like right against the stage, so they were right against the stage.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, I missed that.
Well, that's always good.
They got me a cool autograph from Kevin Martin of Candlebox on the album. Of course, you know about the hat. We'll be talking about the hat in a minute. But let's get the guys out here. Let's get started. I know we're a little early. We say 8:30, but we got viewers. We got guys backstage. You don't like to make the guests wait too long because that's why we're here. We do this for the guests. And our guests tonight, a couple guys from an outstanding band, Whole Damn Mess. They are just blowing up on the scene. Their music is incredible. They were just in Philly a couple weeks back at City Winery on tour with Candlebox. So a lot to talk about. Let's get behind their stories and let's introduce them. It's Mr. Lawrence Katz and Mr. Don Miggs from Whole Damn Mess. Guys, good evening.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you, Lawrence? Well, Lawrence doesn't have the mic hit. You can hear me, yeah?
I don't have a tech here, Don. I don't have a studio tech here. In fact, I'm in my kid's playroom.
I'm in my guitar room.
Yeah, I see.
that is actually that guitar room is awesome, very cool. And Lawrence, like I said,
holy
man,
crap, that just keeps going.
Oh my God! Like I told your PR people, man, from the comfort of your home, wherever you're comfortable doing it, is perfect. We love it. First off, before we get into anything, thanks guys so much for coming on. This is big for us, and like I said, my wife got to see the band down at City Winery. Loved you guys. Still talks about it. Has all the pictures that you guys took together, etc. So thanks so much for coming on. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
First, you got me out of putting my kid to bed.
That's the goal here, man, to take a little break from everyday life. And I love the blue hair. Don, I think it's freaking awesome.
I mean, the thing is, I have hair, and at like 21, I started going gray, and I used to like do all this other coloring and all this, and then I just said, it's just hair. I'm going to let it be the color it is. And then about a month and a half ago, my 11-year-old said, hey, Dad, I'm going to do my hair seafoam green. Will you do yours blue? And I'm like, sure.
Yeah, man. but now gray is in. Everyone's dyeing their hair gray.
Yeah, well, whatever.
When you got
always ahead of the curve, Don.
Right, ahead of the right. Blue is the new gray, Don. Don't worry about that. When you got a guitar room that awesome, you could dye your hair any color you want. That's freaking amazing. So, let's jump into it. I got to know first and foremost, of course, because I try not to read other interviews. I try not to listen to them because I want to ask my own stuff and learn stuff anew. The name, Whole Damn Mess, where did it come from and how did the whole band get together?
I mean, I can start that one. We literally wrote a song called, I have no idea the name of the song, but in it, I say, we wrote the line, it's a whole damn mess. And it's a song on the Princess Turned to Thieves record, but we wrote it early on. But my idea for it was to have like life is messy and like being in a band is already, you're in a gang of like losers and winners. And there's this whole thing where you're trying to fight against this tide and it feels, I wanted it to feel like life feels, which is messy. And the idea of what we do with the Whole Damn Mess is we bring so much stuff to it. It's 4 writer producers in a band. And that's already unique because in a lot of bands, there's one person who does a thing. And in this band, any one of us could be the lead singer, could be the drummer, guitar player, bassist, songwriter. And because of that, it feels like a mess. And for some reason, I think messes are beautiful. So the whole damn mess feels beautiful. And when you see us live, it feels
It's
like
messy.
an adult. It feels like an adult punk rock show where it's not like we're not slamming into each other, but by the end of it, you're sweaty, you're laughing, and maybe you're a little drunk. Like there's this feeling, and it feels like the band name should have been.
That's my kind of show.
Man, that's awesome. And you guys are from all different cities, but met in LA, correct? So
Yeah.
Vegas, Atlanta, and then you met in LA and form this band. How did you know that you had that connection? Does it just happen right off the bat? How many minutes does it take to know that you can
Well,
vibe?
I can tell you for me, and I said this to Lawrence the other day, actually, I am so in love with the guys in this band. I am such a fan of the guys that play in this band that it's the only thing I've ever been a part of where I can listen to the music because it doesn't feel like it's narcissistic because I might be the smallest part in the band. So I feel like I'm a fan. And when I first met Lawrence and C. Todd, we were put together in a writing session. And literally by the end of that, we wrote the song that we open every show with. It just felt immediately like you were walking on air and you were with people who understood what you were trying to do, which was make music that didn't feel timely. It felt timeless and felt like it belonged to everybody instead of like, hey, this is what just the cool people do. It kind of it went past all of that. Now
And,
I'll shut up because I talk too much.
All right, we got C. Todd with us as well, so we'll bring him into the
Hey.
program.
Hey,
Thanks for
hey,
joining
what's
us.
happening?
How you
Sorry
doing,
for,
man? That's all
I'm
right.
good.
We jumped a little early because your other bandmates got here bright and early, and we hate making the guests sit backstage for too long.
I'll catch you up.
So we're talking a little bit about like how the name got started, how the band got started. Lawrence, for you, like, did you know right away that this was your kind of group, and like, how long did it take for you to kind of mesh with the guys?
Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting situation because Todd and I had been, bouncing around, going to these different writing sessions, for kind of just an LA writing session, if you will. And Don was doing it also, and we kind of got it's like speed dating in a way. And sometimes they click on a creative level, and sometimes they click on a creative level that's outside of what the kind of like initial agenda was, which was to write for a particular brief or something like that. Whereas I think that Todd and I and Don were kind of instantly friends, and I think that that's kind of where it stemmed from. I think we had a good time together, and it was very quick that we established that it wasn't just a writing session and we'll be off to the next one the next day. It was really like something like, this is outside of that whole world. Let's do something that's just kind of unique to us and, kind of follows our own personal brief, if you will.
You get really jaded in this business and it's impossible and it feels impossible. And when you get with other people where you go, wait a minute, this actually feels possible. And if it isn't, I don't care because it's my favorite thing to do. That's when it feels magical. And that's what we did. Like, by the way, we make the least amount of money doing Whole Damn Mess.
I feel that, yeah.
But there's nothing at all better than when the four of us or the six of us really, when there's the whole band. But like when we're all doing the thing that we do, I think I would put our hat in the ring for like best band in America. That's how much I love what we do. And I know that sounds terrible to say, but that's the truth.
Nah, man, nothing wrong in believing it. We always call ourselves like the best podcast, webcast, and PA, and people are like, what makes you say that? I'm like, I love it. I believe in what we do. And look, I mean, we get this awesome band here. We get some great guests. So Todd, let's go with you when it comes to your beginning, your youth. What got you into music, and
Let's
what
talk about
inspired
Todd's
you?
lighting.
Let's talk about my.
Todd,
How
your
is it?
lighting is impeccable. Like,
He does have some great lighting. I got
This
shadows.
just follows
and-
me
I got
around.
one of these things. It doesn't seem to work
I'm
so
actually
good.
in the dark. This is my natural glow.
I mean,
My
good God, you're
skincare
almost
routine.
orange.
Radiating.
It's my skin. Well, I was born orange. Getting back to my roots, I was born that way.
I got-
I was born a poor orange child. What was the question?
So basically, like,
Who are
yeah,
you?
going
Where'd
back
you
to
come
youth,
from?
like, how did you get started in music, and who inspired
Did
you
you
as a
say
young guy to
Ute?
get into music?
Oh, sorry.
Ute. What is a
Ute.
Ute?
Yeah,
What is
youths,
a
youths.
youth?
They're in PA.
Oh,
Todd.
sorry,
Youth
Your Honor.
guys.
The youths.
And it's Knob John or John,
Yeah,
right?
we're
John.
Philly, so
John,
I
right?
lived in PA for a while.
All right, let's talk about me. Everyone, shut up for a second. Let's talk about me. I was a pretty late bloomer when it came to music. I was more of a sports and grades and like
And a
kind of
lover.
that, and a lover. I was into chicks and soccer and stuff like that.
Truck,
More soccer.
More so soccer than
hot rods.
Are you done?
No,
Ironically, that was my nickname in high school.
hot rods.
So for me, it was like soccer came to an end. I didn't want to play in college. I had the opportunity to. I was like, that's just too much running. And then I was like, well, what else do I like? And that's when kind of like the whole Pearl Jam Nirvana thing happened. And, I was like, oh, well, girls like dudes that play guitar and sing. So I picked up a guitar and with the intention of like just learning to write songs, not necessarily learning to learn other people's songs, which is probably why I never got great at guitar. But I did get pretty good at writing songs, and that's sort of where it started. So end of high school, then into college, I was the kid in the dorm with the acoustic guitar trying to play, Wonderwall and see who would listen to me. It was very few people at that time, but at the end of college, I started a band, and people came to see us, and I was like, wow, this is pretty awesome, seeing people in the crowd singing the songs that you wrote. And from there, here we are.
Awesome.
Well, that's going to make this conversation unfortunate and uncomfortable for you, Todd, but
Okay.
we're going to need you to leave.
Oh, leave this interview or leave the band or leave
Both.
all
You're not
of the
allowed to
above?
leave the band because the band as it is as a whole is tight. I love the band, so can't kick anybody out of the band. Joel,
We
you got some
appreciate
questions
that.
for the guys?
Oh yeah, well, I don't know. You mentioned Nirvana and Pearl Jam, and all of you are songwriters. Who are some other influences, songwriting wise? Your music has so many elements when you hear it, and you catch something, and then you go somewhere else. So who are some of your favorite songwriters? And I don't know.
I mean,
Bart?
I guess since I already started, I'll just finish that. I think a lot of the 90s sort of like rock stuff was obviously a big influence. I think we all agree on some of those bands that I already mentioned, Pearl Jam, and I think our band specifically kind of has some War on Drugs influence. Tom Petty. I mean, there's such a wide variety because there's at least 4 of us writing the songs and producing. So that's kind of how we get this blend. But I think we all agree on, Don mentioned it earlier, on sounding timeless. I think is important to us. The songs that are, they're obviously in a genre. They're in, sort of rock, but we want to fit in with we want to fit in with Fleetwood Mac as much as we want to fit in with a newer band like War on Drugs or, so.
Yeah, I think that what's interesting about this band that was really kind of fun to tap into, we were doing this new record and I brought a song and I was really into it. And I played it and Greg immediately was like, yeah, that's not for us. And at first I was really insulted. I was like, this dude doesn't know. Like, I know.
Ask
because
Greg about that. Oh no, Greg's not here.
But yeah,
I'm,
Greg's not
I'm like, I'm
Oh.
singing it. I know what it sounds like. I'm singing it, right? And then I finished recording the song and I realized that it's like what's really cool about this band is we all can do a bunch of things, but we've decided to do one thing with this band. And so it sounds very singular. So and that's what makes all the bands that we all love really great, that they might get diverse, but when you think of your favorite bands, in your head you hear a sound. And that's always what I was shooting for someone to go, oh, when I think of Whole Damn Mess, I think of this sound. And we've really made that happen, as opposed to like, hey, I know how to play ska because I was in the Boss Tones, or I love Pearl Jam and I'm going to do this. It's like, if those elements don't belong in this band, we don't put them in.
Yeah.
And we're all disciplined enough to sort of be like, we can do that in other projects, but this band sounds like this, and we're going to make it sound like this. And that's harder than it seems to do. But
Well,
it's
because you have
really
to get past
important.
4 people. There's 4 of
Yeah.
us, 4 producers, 4 people who know what they're doing. So if it doesn't get, past the whole jury, then we need to make something better until it does.
Yeah.
And what we have to do right now, we got to let Greg come in and defend himself since everybody's breaking his stones.
Oh,
Greg,
there he is.
Greg, thanks for chiming in.
The whole
Thanks for
thing got a
joining us.
lot better looking.
Oh
Whoa!
man, look at that view.
And I got to be honest, we said 8:30. Everybody got here early. So, Greg, you're late. We're picking on you a little bit, but thanks for tuning in, guys.
He's
Appreciate it.
extra on time.
My pleasure. Sorry about that.
That's all right, man.
God bless.
We were talking shit on you. We realized you're the odd man out in the band, so we figured all that out. We got that out of the way.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely the worst one in the group. But God bless technology. I'm calling from the 20th floor of some building in Lower Manhattan. So happy to be here. Also,
That is
I have a
definitely very
spicy margarita, so I feel like I'm winning on some level.
You're definitely winning.
This is definitely the show where booze are accepted. So I guess anybody can take this, or because I want to talk about the big song, the newer stuff, Some Big Something. I listened to probably like 10 times last night, 'cause I love it. Big hit, released back in November. Tell us a little bit about that and some of your newer music and just the music in general. What inspires you? Are they real life stories, or are they just kind of made up stories, things about your life? What goes into
Everything stems from something real. And what's great about all this new music is we thought of, how do you make big themes feel completely personal and small? Because life is not about, look at us, we're on the 20th floor in Lower Manhattan. It's like life is
Well,
life is like,
It kind of is, though. And this is
But-
a really bad example,
Real
actually.
spicy margarita.
And
But
we
it's
are there.
also-
Greg is there.
it's also sitting in your kid's room who you didn't have to put to bed, and it's also being in another room where your kid's in the other room, or being in this room where like I have something going on in there. Like life's about, God or the devil's in the details, and you just decide what that looks like on any given day. And I think what our music does is it sort of turns a magnifying glass on everyday life, and then also makes it sound big and universal. And there's something about that where you feel like I feel like when I listen to our stuff that I'm ready to charge the mountain. But it feels really personal too. It doesn't feel like generic things. All these songs are based in our lives and real conversations and real feelings. And it's, and if we're going through it, we know other people are too.
And that's pretty great. Not to keep jumping over, Jewel, because I had to get this out. My wife just chimed in. She's watching upstairs. She saw you guys at Philly Winery here in the city, and what we like, and Don just talked about being real in real life. You guys were so amazing. You went up to her. She bought a hat, the amazing Whole Damn Mess hat that I love. And she was talking to you guys about her breast cancer and etc. And you guys were kind enough, each of you, to sign the hat, take some pictures with her, talk to her a little bit. And I'm telling you, it's that kind of stuff that really moves me. For whatever it's worth, like world class. Like not only are you musicians, and like I said, 20th floor, and hey, we rock out, we do this. You're also like classy human beings. I got to tell you, that right there to me was phenomenal. So if each of you is in your own little way, just like tell us like what that feels like and how it feels like connect with your fans and be tight with people and know they enjoy what you're doing, vice versa.
Well, I think I could speak for most of us when I say the reason why we get into making music at all is because we're the biggest fans. Like, we're the idiots at the show, dumb enough to see somebody else on stage and say, I think we could pull that off. Like, or at least I wouldn't live a happy life unless I tried. So that's literally why we do it, and that's why we play. And to be honest with you, to answer the question to tag on to what Don said about why we make our music, like, we make music for the younger version of ourselves. We make music for the version of ourselves that fell in love with music. Because as you get older, like Don was saying, the message could get kind of misconstrued or the goals can kind of shift. And for us, it's like, well, let's make music for the biggest music fan in each one of us, or maybe I'm not speaking for everybody, but for me personally, I'm always thinking about what the 17-year-old version of myself would think about this music. And so when people appreciate that, or if anybody even listens to it, I mean, that's huge. That's massive. So thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. We sincerely appreciate that.
Sure, absolutely.
I think that's why we stick around to talk to people too. Is like that same, I would have given anything to like sit there and bullshit with. I don't know if I can say that, but with an Eddie Vedder, or like if I was given that opportunity, like I would have really, I would have loved it. And so that's part of the reason too. Is just like some of the best part of touring are the people that you meet and the stories you hear from them, and just being able to sort of just connect with, especially coming out of COVID and everything. Like we were
Connection. I think connection is the right word. It's all about connection, whether it's connecting with people from the music or connecting literally face to face, or even connecting with our own truths in making the music, really, ultimately.
Well, I think also the last thing to say to that is what we do.
We'll decide if it's the last thing to say.
Is mostly
Thank you.
It's mostly thankless because we're in a room. Even if the four of us are excited, then we need the label to get excited. We need a PR person to get it. We got all of these people. And so what you mostly come up against is people not being in love with it or not doing what you wished it would do. So to go somewhere, have a song chart and have people singing it back to you and people saying what you do moves me, we'd be idiots if we didn't go try to make that connection stronger, because I'll tell you what, there's a good chance your wife will follow us for the rest of her life and we'll be connected somehow with your wife for the rest of her life.
Agreed. I get what you mean.
So yeah, that'll be the last thing that Don says, actually. Talking about your
John
wife.
says we're taking your wife and the show's over.
Right.
You got an edit button on that thing?
Don, the mute button's on the bottom. You could just mute your microphone.
Trust me, she is probably upstairs gleaming from ear to ear with a big smile on her face. She
Packing a
loves
bag,
these
maybe.
things. Perhaps. I just got an alert from my bank that my checking account has been cleaned out.
Hey, we do thank her though, because she went to the show and sometimes, I get so nervous sometimes when I go to shows, bands I'm a fan of, and I go backstage and I don't go backstage. I go up to them and be like, hey, have a podcast. Would you mind, coming on? Here's our information. And you never know how people are going to act, especially, some musician. I don't know, just anyone in the limelight can be not what you expect. So we do want to thank Cassie and thank you guys so much for being as cool as you are. And you guys make feel good music. You turn on your music and it's a vibe. It really is. Definitely a summer vibe. So hopefully you're on the 20th floor, listen to some Holy Animals. I did want to talk about the sound a little bit because I'm a huge Springsteen fan, and there are definitely some Springsteen-esque elements. Your sound is very full, and I think of like Springsteen and Phil Spector, The Wall of Sound. Is that a conscious decision to just fill up the room with that type of sound? And what does it take? I know you guys, go back and forth, with instruments and bands. Like, how do you perfect that? How do you get that sound just the way you want it?
My God, I wish we could perfect it, but I do love the idea that we all have so many ideas that the stew just keeps getting a lot of ingredients.
We just keep cramming things in there, really.
I like it.
Fill it up until there's no more room.
I mean, I think that's partly a factor of having 4 producers, right? And that's
Yeah.
our jobs is to try to figure out how to.
Wait,
Greg's
Greg.
definitely on the 20th floor. Mute.
Yeah, it's like the idea is if it can get past 4 goalies, it should be at least decent,
I
right?
like that.
Exactly.
And there goes Greg.
Yeah.
And then goes Greg
That
He's going
and there's got to be at least 4 ideas happening simultaneously.
at the same time, which is how you get the wall of sound.
It's
But it-
pretty cool though, because when you see the band and like the photos and listen to music, and like I said, maybe I'm wrong, but there's not one true leader. Everybody's the leader. Everybody's the band. Everybody's the face.
Yeah,
Which I think
after
is
me,
super
everyone is the leader. You've got that correct.
cool.
But that's what makes it so cool. Like, think about I was always in bands with, like, it was Migs was the name of the band, like all of that. And listen, I can out talk a lot of people, but if those 3 get going, I'm going to it's definitely where I may not be winning that conversation. So it's really cool to be in a band where I really feel like I could die on stage and the show would be just as good.
Like literally, no one would notice.
Nobody would notice.
Even his 3 best friends might not know.
Yeah, I hardly ever look over at him, anyways.
See, to me though, that's like legit guy stuff. And you said, you felt like you were friends and all. Like that's the kind of friend stuff and guy stuff. Just
Oh,
breaking
yeah.
each other's balls. That's what it's all about.
I mean, it is.
You gotta
core-
join us.
It's the core
Breaking
value.
those balls is what it's all about. We're doing it right.
Yeah. Well, except with Lawrence. Lawrence gets a little sensitive. But if you're on the bus with us, after a show, it's as fun as it gets. Like, there's nothing better than being with these guys in a room together when we're not like we could get intense with each other, but I'm telling you, I wouldn't leave my family for anything else except these guys.
Wow. That's pretty awesome.
For like a few weeks at a time.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't mean for
Yeah,
good.
not permanently.
Yeah.
That would be a really bad mistake.
We're
On
not
your part,
putting it
I think.
all on the line out here.
And then the other spectrum, my wife is leaving me forever for your band. So yeah, we're
I mean, it's pretty fun. She's not making a bad decision. But
yeah, it's gotta be
she's
be
making
great.
a terrible decision.
So and listen to like today's music, a lot of it is so synthetic and a lot of electronic this and that and a lot of dubs. So you guys are actually a little throwback to real music, playing instruments, all you produce, all you write, all you get involved. Are you listening to anything today? Do you think today's music does justice to past music?
It's incredible, though, just side note, that it's unique that musicians are playing their instruments.
I know, right? It's actually like an
You
abnormality
guys are
these days.
musicians and you play instruments?
You guys are actually singing while
Right?
you're singing.
Songwriter?
You ever heard of
What is this?
Tyrannosaurus Rex? Did you know?
But I love today's music, to be honest. And there's some I don't, but I mean, I love that we can do anything. You can make any sound, can be part of a song. It can be the start of a song. And so I fully embrace it and love it. But having said that, I love when it's like you could also go to the end of the stage and turn off all the microphones. And when the band plays, you're still like, holy crap, that band is good. So I think there's a world where it both lives. And we'd be foolish if we didn't dig into some of what's going on today in terms of some of those kick drums in our songs. There's a real drum and a kick drum, and there's a fake one. And I think all those elements also help make it feel timely and timeless, where it kind of does both.
Yeah, it's definitely not throwback for the, intentionally. I mean, unless guitars feel nostalgic at this point.
I mean, I think
sometimes, depending on the
they
music,
do.
sometimes, yeah.
But
Yeah.
we're not trying to be Luddites necessarily.
Gotcha.
I mean, as it pertains to modern music, though, I still think the cream rises to the top. I mean, Billie Eilish is an insanely good singer. Post Malone is an insanely good singer. And you got the things like TikTok and Instagram and all that other stuff where people are just singing right into their phones, and they're not, it's very obvious when someone is hiding behind technology, but also like the people that really kind of bust through are people who are still, talented in an old school way. Ed Sheeran is an insanely good singer. Like all these people that are really at the top are not hiding behind technology too much. So it's
Right, the technology becomes part of the process.
it's
ultimately.
another instrument in a way. Technology
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different for like rock. I feel like I just saw Billie Eilish on tour, and that was one of the best shows. I love her voice.
She's
Like,
amazing.
I'm going for the voice, but obviously her it's very electronic. The bass.
But it's a rock show.
It is. I mean, she's rocking out. And then I saw Alt J, who's very. I mean, the rock they play. They're multi instrumentalists, but man, I mean, just the electronics. It enhance the experience, but
100%.
you can't fake. I don't think you can fake rock, especially live. Like, you have to put on a show. People are going to know whether you're really singing and whether you're really playing those instruments. And I think that's why some bands work and some bands don't. Some bands I hear on the radio, I'm like, oh my God, I have to see them live. So I look up a YouTube video. I'm like, I don't feel the same way anymore, because I know that
Pass.
I wouldn't enjoy their show. And live is just, I think if you love a band, you should really see them live. Buy a ticket, go see the show. And you guys have just been on the road for so long. What have been some of your favorite venues, cities, places, stories?
This tour was great. This last acoustic tour was as much fun as I've had in a really long time, because we're just like so loose, and it was so much fun. And I may have gotten really drunk the last night on stage.
Might have.
And it was a blast. Like, there was something about being able to hear everybody and everything they were doing. I don't know. I really fell in love with this band all over again on this last tour.
That's
Will
nice.
you leave your family for us?
I mean, he often does.
Certain weeks, only for a few weeks at a time.
Yeah. But we've had some great, like when we were out with some fun stuff, like we were out with Cheap Trick and ZZ Top. And
Oh,
at one point, we were watching Cheap Trick play, and Rick comes over and he yells at us, "Come on up here on stage," and doing Surrender. And there's video of us running up like we were 4-year-olds at an all-you-can-eat, Bob's Burgers. It was insane.
We were like pushing them out of the way, like stealing their microphones.
It was insane. And there's a step that Rick goes up, and it says clearly on the bottom, "Do not step on this." And it's so big you can't miss it. And our bass player goes right up the step. Like, this is the first night of her, like, oh my God, this is it. We're going to get thrown off. But that kind of stuff, it's exactly what we were saying, what Greg was saying. Like, we're seeing the bands that when my uncles were, that was their favorite bands. And like, I'm seeing these bands play, and you're seeing with joy they bring to people. And then you get to sort of have to try to get on that level when you're playing. And there's, I don't know, it's magical.
Everybody heard it.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely cool. So what's next? Every artist we have on the show says, "Oh, we already got more music stashed away, ready to go," or "We're going right back on tour." What's next for you guys? More music, more albums, more touring? What's the
We have
most
more
important
music
thing at the
stashed away, and we're going right back.
And we're
on.
ready to go back on tour.
moment?
No, we're still actually releasing the music that we wrote during COVID, believe it or not, because we're
Wow.
really quick and fast and professional. So we have, a lot of that music is still on its way out, and honestly, we're still just getting better at being the whole damn mess. When you start a band, especially where there's 4 writers and 4 producers and 4 opinions, we're all bringing in our own influences, and I think that that's never going to stop. But on this last album, and even in the new songs we're working on, it feels like we're starting to become our own influence in a way. Like, we're not looking at what other bands are doing. We're looking at, our old record, and we're looking at our new record. We're looking at songs like Some Big Something and Nothing in the World. And we're trying to distill that in a way that makes us unique, that makes us us, because you can get you know, if we wanted to sound like everybody else, I feel like we'd be doing not only a disservice to us, but to fans of music. You know, we need to lean into being ourselves, and we're doing that. So what's next for Hold Damn Mess is a more concentrated and better version of Hold Damn Mess, both sonically, on stage, and everything in between.
Love it.
And when you wrote Some Big Something, did you know that was going to be the anthem that it is? Because it is rock anthem.
I mean, that was the goal.
No idea. We every song when it's born is like your new child. It's like you have no favorite child. Maybe one of them makes the basketball team. Maybe one of them flunks out of preschool. But you love them all the same.
It's hard to do.
That has to be one of the like pump up songs of the night, though. Like, does that song get everyone jumping?
Yeah. Gets me jumping.
Gets me jumping. It's so easy to sing along to. I think that's the other reason why it's just so it's connected the way it has. Is it's just kind of you know the words by the end of the first chorus. So I think that's always the mark of a good song.
That's awesome. When you guys make your way back through the East Coast, back through Philly, we definitely would like to come out and see you. My wife will have to stay home, unfortunately, because she may not come back. But
she'll already be there.
Be with us.
She'll be on the bus.
Yeah, she might be driving the bus. But like I said, we're definitely fans now. I'm in love with it, and our program. People always say, "Why do you do it? Are you making money? Are you doing this and that?" Not really, but it's the love of this. Like, this to me is so genuine. Talking to blood, sweat, and tears, rock music guys that are out doing it, and you talk about the greatness of touring and meeting people, etc. And that's the beauty of it, because we want to know the real story. I'm not worried about your favorite food. I'm not worried about who you voted for. I'm not worried about anything of that. I'm worried about the music, man, and what drives you guys. And it's really cool. Jewel, get in there, because I'm like at a loss for words. I'm so damn excited to have you guys here.
I did have a question
Geeking.
because I saw an earlier COVID interview, and you guys said you just wanted to get out there and play for your kids. Did that ever happen?
And play for
Your kids, like all your kids, did they get to see you play after?
Yeah, you know what? I want, like, my kids, for me, were able to come a night on the ZZ Top Cheap Trick tour.
Awesome.
And that was a really cool moment to be able to have them see it. And, Lawrence's little girl is now 5, right? And then Todd's little girl is 1. So they're not quite there yet. But it is, I think the goal is, for me, I want my kids to think that their dad is still kind of cool. And so playing live is a great way to show them that.
I think you're all kind of cool. I got to be honest, and it's got to be great for your kids to grow up.
Some of us cooler than others, but yeah.
Of course, absolutely. I'm not going to name names, but it's got to be neat because, like, and I read that you guys said you're around music, your family, got you into music, and that's big because that's how a lot of our bands come on the show start. Their family's in it. Their family brings them into, embraces it, teaches them, plays along with them. And they get in love with music. So I think it's awesome what you're doing, getting your kids into it and getting them into like genuine creativity of music.
Yeah. My dad was in town the other day, and he came into my session, and I'm writing, and he was in this guitar room with one of the other writers trying to tell the other writer what he thought should be done in the song. And he was telling the guy, just tell him it's your idea. Don't tell him it's my idea. Just tell him it's your idea. And the guy came in and my dad left, and the guy goes, your dad just told me to give you an idea that's his, but to say it was mine. And I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Sometimes our parents know best. I know I trust my dad's rock and roll encyclopedia he has.
Ironically, most of Don's ideas are his dad's. He calls us and tells us, that was my idea, right? Well, we have a whole separate text thread with your dad, Don, that you have no idea about.
They're going to start a separate band called Whole Dad Mess. And it's
Whole Dad Mess.
That's a good idea.
No, I'm full of them. I'm full of a lot, but I'm definitely full of them. So how does it feel to go on tour and go on stage and meet new people in new cities? Do you feel still kind of like, wow, is this us? Do you get nervous? Or are you like, yeah, we belong here and we're doing it right?
For me, it's a little bit of both. I mean, if you're not getting nervous, you're not really focused on the. If you're not getting a little nervous, like you want to. If you're not getting a little nervous, you don't care about the product you're putting out there. In my opinion, like you want to nail the thing. But I think we do have like confidence, about us. We've all been doing it long enough that we know like that we can hit a home run when we go on stage, and we also know that between the four of us, we can kind of pick up the slack if anyone's having an off night, if Don's too drunk, etc.
If Don disappears in the middle
If
of
he
an interview,
disappears, we can talk for him. So yeah, it's a little bit of both. I mean, I haven't done nearly as much touring as like Lawrence has done. So I mean, maybe you can answer that. I just get super excited to go on tour and to get on a bus, and that whole thing is like just so exciting. But maybe a grizzled veteran like Lawrence has a different take.
What?
I'm sorry. Do you like touring or no?
Don's phone died, which I find strange. He said, "Tell them my phone died," yet he's texting me.
Yeah, exactly.
That doesn't make sense.
That was his dad's idea.
I never thought of myself as a grizzled veteran. Thank you.
Do you like touring still?
Yeah. I mean, it's got its pros and cons. I've done a lot of it. But I mean, there's you can't replicate that feeling of going up to play. I mean, that's what you do it for. It's the other 23 hours that are kind of miserable.
Oh, yeah.
No, I love it. I've always loved it. I mean, it was always it's all I've ever wanted to do. So
Beware what you wish for.
Right, true. But a good way though, because like you guys got the
100%.
bond. You guys got this bond. You're putting out music. You're going on tours, and you're doing great things like this. Again, I'm so like the hat. She said, "Be careful with my hat." I said, "I got to show the guys." She said, "That's great. Once you're done showing them, put it down
Don't go
somewhere
smudging
safe."
it.
if it comes
know,
out
she
with
is-
any tiger claw stripes on it,
She is madly in love with the hat, madly in love with the band, and we can't thank you enough. We're gonna end it here, guys, by thanking you a million times over and welcoming you, and we'd love to bring you back. What do you think about doing it again down the road?
We'd love to be back. Thanks for having us. Thank you.
Love it.
Absolutely.
Maybe I'll get here on time. Don will stay till the end, and it'll be a cool thing. But
Greg, it turns out you were on time.
Yeah, you actually were.
We were
Everybody
just
else
all
was just
early.
early.
I was just waiting for my drink. Otherwise, I would have been here early.
So it works out in so many great cycles. Like I said, some people watch us live, some people watch the recording. We get hundreds, thousands of people to watch us. So if you're watching, really, check out Whole Damn Mess. And I get a firsthand experience how great a bunch of guys they are. You can find Whole Damn Mess,
Right to jump.
www.wholedamnmess.com, Instagram at Whole Damn Mess, Facebook at Whole Damn Mess. It's just Whole Damn Mess. It's easy to find. You can find their music on Apple Music, Spotify. Check out their videos on YouTube and catch them on tour soon. My wife was fortunate enough to see these guys at City Winery, and she gave it an A+, at 11 stars out of 10, the whole 9 yards. So, guys, again, thank you to guys from Whole Damn Mess, Lawrence, Todd, Greg, Don, who is in limbo somewhere out there. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
guys.
Thank you, guys.
Have a great night.
Y'all too.
Joel, I gotta tell you, that was absolutely sensational because they were funny, they're smart about their music, they got the right idea, and I was thrilled. I probably could have did that all night because like it's like hanging out with a bunch of your buddies, even though your buddies are better than you and more talented than you.
It's really awesome that we got the band thing down because when it was just audio, it was kind of sketchy. But now that we can see everyone and one person might get off, but no, it was great having those guys. Man, what a sound, what a band. Again, check them out. I'll have this scrolling all night, right? So
Yeah, I'm gonna leave the scroll up to the end
on
because
Napster.
when I just kept posting it a lot and I put it in my Facebook story and like a bunch of people saw that. And you look at the count, and like I said, people watch us live. A lot of watch us on recording because, everybody, oh, it's a couple hours, gets to be a lot. We do so much, but, it's worth it, man. Austin Wood in the house from Horror Night Podcast, the return of the great Horror Night Podcast.
I want to
great
come back
seeing you,
on,
Drew.
Austin.
Yeah, we got to get
October.
Austin back on soon and work him in October. He's got his show. He's been doing some great things, getting some awesome guests, getting some hot, sexy guests because, he's all about that. Remember, I took him under my wing. He said, show me how to get hot guests. And, the rest is history. But great show, Horror Night Podcast. He really has his finger on the pulse. Spinning. He gives great movie reviews. Austin is a movie junkie, so you get it from him. But, whole thing messed in. Super cool. Great band. I'm actually upset now, Jewel, because I could have been sitting right next to the stage seeing them, and I missed it, and I feel terrible. But I greatly appreciate the guys, and like I said, what they did for my wife, and the hat, and just the show was great, and meeting after the show, stuff like that is just wonderful. And they might want to kidnap her. Good luck with that. They think Don talks a lot. Woo! They're in for it.
Oh man, yeah, I know, but you are dedicated, and we had a great guest that night, and tonight was another great show. So kudos, and we'll catch them next time they roll through town.
Absolutely, definitely is happening.
Are you gonna say it?
We need a promo, especially after that great interview. Definitely need a promo.
She lost her front tooth. Yeah, you look beautiful. Come on, you wanna say it? All right, then say it loud enough in the microphone.
Make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on all notifications, and make sure you hit that like button in the face, but don't break your screen. That's a warning.
Whew. No face tonight, huh? No camera time.
Nope.
Nope.
Work on my pink office.
Okay.
We still love our spokesmodel, Joey. Like she said, make sure you like, subscribe, follow on YouTube, on Twitch, on Facebook. Check out the Yo Show because, like I said, we're doing it. We got a lot of great acts to go. We got a whole summer of it. Yo 2.0 is kicking off. I told you we got so many guests piling up that, we need to do it. And Mike Huff, absolutely. We'll see you guys next week. Indeed. Very excited. Just
Awesome.
so excited for everything that is just so excited for everything that's coming in. And we follow our bands, and as you know, I got to talk about this one. I didn't make a thing for it, which I should have, but August 7th, of course, Jewel, I will be in Mechanicsburg, PA at Love Draft Brewing. It's a great show with Sepsis, one of our absolute awesome former guests and an awesome band, and Nailbite, who is a local band from Philly, hard rock band I heard is just absolutely kicking ass. So that's coming up on August the 7th, and I can't wait to meet the guys in person. And the girl, of course, the amazing Melissa Wolf and Sepsis. So that's coming up, and we're excited for that. We've got a lot of great shows coming up. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Jewel, let's talk about some topics. There's definitely some great topics out there. And as you know, Paul Sorvino, we mentioned that. Rest in peace. From the dark side to the bright side, as J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez, tells women to flaunt your assets. J-Lo did a nice steamy photo shoot, just turned 53 years old after looking incredible. She tells women, be proud of who you are. Be proud of whatever makes you sexy, whatever your appeal is, whether it's face, butt, boobs, the whole 9 yards. Show it off. She did.
It's easy when you're J-Lo.
Well, right. I mean, if I was J-Lo, this whole show would just be my ass. What do you think, Joel? Because I know, there's, and we're going to talk about candid about this, there's a fine line between showing it off, being sexy, and having some people say, oh, bravo, and people going overboard with the showing of her sex appeal. Where are you at with it? I kind of know where we're at with it. I'm not saying it in a mean way, but is Jennifer Lopez at 53 going overboard? We talked about it last week with Donna D'Errico in a bikini, and everybody said that she's ridiculous for getting in a bikini. Where is too much? Is there such thing as too much?
Not if you're J-Lo.
Right. Well, sure. I mean,
She's great. She's in the best shape of her life, and she's 50 years old. So props to her. It's just whatever you're comfortable with too. Like I was telling you earlier, like I have to get better with posting, but then I'm, weary about posting anymore. I don't know, but in the end, it's your decision. It's your body, so you have to make those choices, and you also have to live with those choices. So just make sure you're doing it, but also being conscious of like anyone might see it, and they probably will see it. People look on your page for all different reasons. So anything you post, I like to think I'm a mindful poster. But
I am not. As you've seen, I am not.
I just try to be careful. And then like, I don't know. Sometimes you get the attention you don't want, so it's just different for different people. I know I'm more, I don't know. I like my privacy. Like I have tons of pictures, but I rarely post, so it's just whatever makes you feel good, makes you feel comfortable. If you're J-Lo, you can do whatever the hell you want because you're J-Lo.
Pretty much, and there does need to be a little bit of the fine line, and it's not the poster and people say, "Oh, you beg for that attention." Yeah, but you don't beg for the wrong attention. You don't beg for obnoxious comments and pictures of genitalia being sent your way. Like nobody asked for that. Nobody.
No,
I
I
don't
think it
care who
could be
you are.
done in a good way too. Like I don't know. We're so desensitized from like everything, so like nothing shocks us anymore. So like I think it could be done the right way.
I agree with that.
Don't
There
touch him yet.
definitely is.
I'll get it. It's heavy. I
When you're J Lo, there's a lot of protection behind what you do. We get that. So there's a lot of different avenues. It's kind of like all over the board. But it's also about the fan or the person watching to treat with a little bit of class. Like people are entertaining, and even us, like we're doing the show to entertain, and we're not asking for the bad press, and we don't get into those kind of subjects. We're here to have fun. We met a great band tonight that made us laugh hysterically. We told great stories about how we got to meet this band. So I think it's a double-edged sword. The people who are entertaining, of course, have to watch certain things come out of their mouth. But it should go the other way around too. If you're watching or you're viewing or you're reading, etc., show a little class and dignity for the people out there doing the entertaining.
right.
It's not-
Stay classy.
Keep it classy. But that's J Lo. And J Lo says, "Flaunt your assets." So we go from J Lo telling women to flaunt their assets to a girl who I find absolutely beautiful flaunting her assets and getting a bunch of garbage for it. And that's former pro golfer, still golfer, Paige Spiranac. And she was on the golf course. And she had like a sleeveless thing on that's apparently zipped at the neck with a little
Oh,
skirt.
you don't have a picture?
I had the picture and it wasn't the right picture, so I got rid of it. So I don't know if you can find maybe the actual outfit. But there was and of course everybody starts with the Karen on the golf course down there. It's inappropriate, and how could you be on a golf course like that? And it actually made her break down in tears. She's like, look, I'm a golfer. I also model clothing. Like, I didn't really think I was, well, she actually was a pro golfer. I know you give me that look. She was a pro golfer, and now she's obviously very pretty, so she's got more into the modeling thing. But firstly, look, I golf. I do respect the clubs. I ask them before I come golfing, like what's inappropriate, what you don't want to be worn. And, it gets a point where, like, everybody's got to say something about everybody. Like, kind of let people do their thing.
I'm still trying to find the outfit because it's just different outfits of this chick.
I know, it's all
And she wears like low cut tops.
She does. She
Yeah.
wears some low cut stuff. There's some that are just, but she doesn't wear them golfing. Like there's some tank tops that you're just like.
Look, I think it's golf, tennis, like you're playing a sport. It's there. The outfit is there for a reason. It's to not interfere with your game, right? So they try to find the best uniform that goes with that. I don't know how that helps, but yeah, I mean, I guess it gets pretty hot on the golf course. So
I guess again, I didn't even realize she was just voted sexiest woman alive. I didn't even know that until
Oh,
I just went to Google the outfit. Well, she is like she's a very attractive woman, and from what I understand, a terrific women's golfer. And I can't find the outfit. I'm not worried about finding the outfit. I wish I could have, but I didn't. But I mean, nowadays everybody's got something to say about something.
yeah.
Gotta make sure you don't offend anybody.
It was like Anna Kournikova, right? Like they always had something to say about her.
Absolutely right, and how she sucked at tennis, and everybody was out there for her look, and she still managed to play against pros.
Yeah, I
So
don't really care as long as you play the game. I mean, like beach volleyball, they wear like nothing, so
nothing, right?
it's hot. It's hot out there on the golf course.
Yeah, give her a break.
And
Gotcha.
J Lo told her to, so she's wanting her assets.
Right, so J Lo says it. It's got to be right. It's a happy birthday, Jewel. I forgot to wish this fella a happy birthday. One of the I got to check his age again because I couldn't believe it earlier today when I heard it. Find it for you real quick. 79 years old. A very happy 79th birthday to one of the absolute legends of rock music, Mick Jagger.
Wow.
79, dude. Like I know Springsteen's coming back on tour. I heard the tickets are like thousands of bucks. Crazy. I know. I heard the ticket prices are insane. And he's what, like in his mid 60s, Joel Springsteen?
No, he's 70. He's like 70.
70.
He's like 76.
76. Like
Yeah.
I seen, because I couldn't believe like Mick Jagger like 79. I looked again. Springsteen, okay, 76.
Mhm.
I'm 51 and it hurts to get out of bed. Like how are these guys doing it? Like at the end of the show, I'm like, oh my god, I'm so tired. All I did is sat here and talked.
I don't know. Like Springsteen is in shape, but Mick Jagger, I don't know. I know he's thin, but like, come on, man, you need the stamina. I'm afraid for him.
Yeah, he's like a spaghetti noodle too. He's so
Mhm.
thin, but he gets on stage and rocks it out. Like you're pretty much like the world's worst dancing moves, but you don't really have to know how to dance when you're 79 and still rocking and
Yeah, man.
member of like, I mean Keith Richards, that right there just goes to show you that anybody can get on stage.
I mean,
and rock.
McCartney's doing it, yeah, but I fear for like the more animated performances. Like Springsteen, he's all over the stage. He's like
Yeah,
drinking beers and popping and jumping and. So Mick Jagger, I feel, would do the same thing. McCartney just kind of sits there and does the Beatles thing. So
sure, it's a little different. Mick and
Elton
Keith
John.
are the same age.
Don't do drugs.
I know. I kind of figured that Keith was at least 300. Yeah, but Elton
Yeah.
John, of course, plays the piano. He's a little anime, but not like he used to be back in the day. And he's on his farewell tour, allegedly. And I missed that this time around. I would love to see it. But
Yeah.
again, now that we're back, the ticket prices have gone right back through the roof, as I saw with Springsteen. And a good buddy of mine tried to buy 2 tickets, and they came out to like $5,000. And he turned down the purchase.
For Springsteen?
Springsteen, and he posted it too on his page.
Come
I
on,
don't
man.
want to call the guy
That's
out.
not fair.
I don't want to call the man out because he's a prominent business owner in a place that I like to frequent from time to time.
That's a joke. So, I mean, they can't charge that at State College. There's no
You would-
way.
You would think, but then again, a guy of the size of Springsteen, people will travel that distance.
I
So-
would. That's where I had first row. State
So-
College.
His post is, I'd really like to see Bruce Springsteen with the E Street Band, but hell no, I'm not paying $5,000. And it was Platinum Bruce Springsteen E Street Band 2023 tour. Item total $5,174. Includes a $674 fee, $674 in fees.
Oh my God.
His seats
Oh my
were
God.
2 seats on the floor, section 2, row 2, 13, and 14. Granted, there were awesome seats,
Yeah.
but $6,000.
Is this Wells Fargo?
Yeah, it is Wells Fargo. $6,000. I wouldn't even want to see J-Lo's assets flaunted for $6,000.
Right.
Jesus
Jesus
Christ.
Christ.
That's and
Yeah,
I thought of
that
you
ain't
right
worth
away
it.
because I know you're a diehard fan, and it's not like you're this millionaire who's going to lay out $6,000 for tickets. fellas, for out there. Jewel's a big Bruce Springsteen fan. Let's pony up some bucks and get Jewel to see Springsteen.
Springsteen ticket fund. Yeah, I was upset when the tickets were a couple $100s to see him on Broadway because I would have loved to catch that, but a couple $100, no, like you just can't do it. I don't know why. I don't know. Mr. Working Man would charge that much for tickets. They have to have some say for that,
You
Like,
would
come on.
think, right? Isn't he for the working man? Isn't he
Yeah.
about like blue collar and all that? And you're just charging $6,000 for a pair of tickets. That's blue collar.
And he doesn't hide. Like he lives in Colts Neck, New Jersey. He goes to the beach all the time. Like he's not like Mr. Hollywood. So that just doesn't make sense.
Mr. Hollywood. I don't think he's Mr. Hollywood either.
He's not. I
Um,
mean, for all the money he has, he's not.
Some things that are super cool, Joel, not to change the subject, because I know you love Springsteen, but when I look at my Facebook and past guests like Nikki Shrinkfield likes our posts, that's pretty awesome stuff. Love her. Yeah, it's just, there's limits. I wish, and I actually seen that may not be her, but anyway, it's got like a dude name in it too. Who is that? Good gracious, some people just really are not ashamed to bring it. But yeah, $6,000. That's a lot. Now you can get all the Springsteen tickets you want, Jewel Titty, if you pick the proper Mega Millions numbers. 790 last night is actually over $800 million for the Mega Million jackpot. I know what I would do right away if I won. I would go and buy Jewel and Joey and 2 other family members 4 front row tickets to Springsteen. That's the first thing I would do if I hit the jackpot.
I wouldn't even allow you to pay that much.
Yeah, I just won $800 million, and $10,000 in Springsteen tickets wouldn't even make me flinch.
Yeah, guess press passes. That'd be nice. What would you do?
I got to tell you, and we kicked this around at work today because you talk about the people who win millions of dollars and end up broke, and
Yeah.
you
That would
can't
not be
imagine-
me. I can make $1 stretch. That is one thing I pride myself on.
I gotta agree, and I would go. It's easy to say, "Oh, I'd go sensible." And everyone's like, "Yeah, right," but I'd probably buy my house, pay it off, because I love my house.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get elaborate with cars because cars only last me so long. So I'd buy a decent car, something I really like. Yeah, great. I'm gonna spend a little coin on it, but it's gonna be something I like, and probably pay off my loan. Probably definitely take care of some great people in my life who deserve it. Probably come up with my own Funko Pop museum. Maybe I'll buy every Funko Pop ever invented. But
Studio with the
studio,
stage.
of course. Oh, studio with stage. Yeah, I get jealous watching those Howard Stern interviews where
Wow.
they play right on stage. Actually, so yeah, definitely a nice big studio, and doesn't have to be a big studio, a good sized studio. And I'd be my own PR man. I would throw money at all the great acts to jump on a plane and come out and play with us and for us and talk on the show, etc.
That'd be nice. Would you buy a vacation home anywhere?
Yeah, I would definitely, and it would be not overseas, but no 70 million. Yeah. 790 million would get you 3 Funko Pops. Depends on the 3. I want to buy the whole damn plant. I don't know. It's hard to say. I'd buy a vacation place, but I wouldn't go overseas. I wouldn't want to leave the country because you got to worry about flying, and flying is, it's very easy to die in an airplane.
Yeah.
So
I'm content here. Well, not totally here, but I would definitely buy a house in Ocean City because that's my favorite place in the world. And I would buy all my immediate family's houses. They'd be all purchased. Buy my brother a farm in West Virginia.
There you go.
And
Good
I
old-
don't know.
good old
Yeah.
West Virginia.
Chateau. My sister was just talking about Denver. I really would like to freaking go to Denver, Colorado.
So my wife has been there, and her cousin lives out there now, and she loved it. She just had a but she's also into the skiing and all that great stuff, and there's a lot to do out there. So I can understand that.
hmm And then I don't know. Yeah, definitely travel though. I'm going to travel. I have to see places. I want to see Japan and Italy.
I definitely
Right.
want to see it. I would love that. As we saw Mike Huff, and just remind me of some of the great shows we have coming up on the Yo Show. Let's hit some now. I know it's a little early yet, but I just want to announce we got so much coming up, and I keep forgetting to change the graphic because I guess at times I cram all this into like Monday night to get everything ready, and then I get so damn nervous. But coming up on the program, of course, tonight was Whole Damn Mess. Next week, speaking of Mike Huff, the amazing band Bees, one of Jules' favorites and a great Philly band, will be with us next Tuesday night. They're going to talk about their brand new project, brand new album. They were with us before. They were great. We can assure you they'll be great again this week. August 9th, beautiful actress Caitlin Weiler with a brand new project coming out that we waited a while. We talked about this a while. She said she got a new project coming out, a movie, and she wanted to wait till it got closer and got near the end before she came on the show. So August 9th, Caitlin Weiler. August 16th, I've been telling people about this, Jewel, and people were just blown away by this. Two founding members of Collective Soul, members of Scott Weiland's former band, and some other great artists have formed to make a new great band, Mojo Moji. And August 16th, they're going to be on the program. They actually reached out to us and said, let's do this. If you haven't heard of us, we're these guys. And I'm like, Collective Soul? Like, holy freaking shit.
Little band called Collective Soul.
Yeah, if
No
you
big deal.
heard them, some little song that was on MTV like every 5 minutes. So they're going to be on 16th, Mojo Moji. We come right back with another superstar rock band, August 23rd. Diggity Dave Aragon and the gang from Hollywood Gods and Monsters. I tell you what, Joel, you think I was nervous tonight? I might be just numb on the 23rd. We actually jump aboard through the virtual world, but we jump aboard the Hollywood Gods and Monsters tour bus to have them on the program. August 30th, one I know Jules very excited for. I'm excited for as well. From local rock station 93.3 WMMR, Sydney Taylor. She also has a great rock podcast. She's a total metalhead. Can't wait to have her. September 6th, Sharon Leah from Ladies Who Rock for a Call is going to come on the program as well. She's going to talk about that great show. Jewel, I'm going to put up the banner because it is a great show this year. And if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, make sure you hunt down the tickets and get them. I got to find the graphic first. There it is.
I've been
Ladies Who
telling
Rock.
everyone about this. Everyone needs to come out.
You absolutely have to. And I got to make sure I get my tickets before I get shut out. But it's Ladies Who Rock for a Cause. Sharon Leah is the founder of it, her and Rick. And they put on a great show. Last year was virtual. They're back live this year. And look at the lineup. Taylor Dane, Tiffany, Jennifer Page. Kick It Out is a Heart tribute band. Just going to be great. Sharon's band is going to play for a great cause. And Sharon's a wonderful person. Last time she was on our show, tons of views and a lot of great stuff to talk about. So we're very excited for that as well. There's just so much coming up, Jewel. I can barely contain myself. Let's take the banner down so we can see our faces again. There we are.
It was so awesome. I was actually, I was talking to people about it, and I was like, "Oh crap! I have the shirt on."
Yeah,
Ladies Who Rock for a Cause. This is it. I'm
an
walking
awesome
billboard
shirt.
here.
That's a good thing. And Sharon was appreciative too because you managed to, when you see it on the big screen, it actually looks like a professional show. Like I just put up this, but the graphic is super cool, and her graphic work is amazing. And it's Saturday, October 8th. Is Ladies Who Rock for a Cause. It's at Constadters this year in Northeast Philadelphia, Academy Road. It's going to kick major butt. It's going to be one heck of a great show. I'm so excited.
Very excited. Actually, my sister's like, "Oh, I think I have to be somewhere that day." I'm like, "No, you don't."
Yeah, you got somewhere to be,
looking.
all right. You got to be a Constadter. Very excited for that. Am I already out of topics? No, man, there's one topic left, and I
I
don't know
have
how.
topics for you.
Oh, well, hit us with some too. We get to this one, and podcast world, of course, is big at wrestling. I don't know if Jules is a big follower of wrestling, but WWE Chairman Vince McMahon finally decided to retire or step down from his post as the chairman. His son-in-law, of course, former wrestler Triple H, will take over, husband of Stephanie McMahon. And it kind of started with the sexual harassment charges, and a lot of people said Vince should kind of lay low, stay off TV, etc. So now he takes his company, steps aside, and leaves it in somebody else's hands. Um, I know you're not really a wrestling person, but Vince McMahon, suddenly all these sexual harassment accusations coming out. Do you think TV is the last place for a guy wrapped up in all that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, once it's come out, and if there's, it sounds like there's more than one
Yeah.
allegation. So wrap it up, man. I mean, I honestly I can't believe wrestling is still on TV. It's just so. I guess it's fantasy for the kids, but I don't know. I know Triple H is a big deal in the wrestling world, so that's a good replacement. Seeing that The Rock is busy, so that's fine. Yes, I do respect wrestlers and wrestling. Just so you know, I just think on TV it's just a little much with the storylines and all that.
Storylines do. It does get to be a little much. It is grueling, and those guys
Mhm.
do take a beating. And you hear a lot about the guys that get into the pain pills and all to just
Yeah.
deal with the pain. And I used to be in a very minor little like local scene. It was a women's wrestling league, and I got kicked in the chest one time by a woman. And she didn't mean to kick me. The gimmick was for her to kind of lunge her leg at me and kind of get me out of the way, but it actually hit me right in the chest. And I went flying back, and I'm laying on the mat, like in real pain. Like that foot
Holy
hit me
shit!
right here, dude. And
That size 10 just went.
you ain't kidding. And the wrestler's name was. You got to spell. I'm actually going to spell it out because this is how they spell
And
it.
I wear a size 10. I'm not busting on ladies with a size 10, so.
Dude, she had a pretty sure, so this was her wrestling name.
Shoe size, I mean.
Oh, I missed the one letter. Yeah. Size 10. Shoe size, that is. Not a lot of comments. Where's everybody at tonight? I know you're watching. Like, we got some watchers. So this was her name.
Oh.
Amanda. And I was like,
Never
I'm like,
mind.
Amanda? I'm like saying, Amanda? And the guy that runs it, no, it's a man. Duh. In other words, they tried to make it like it was a man. It was very much female, but they tried to like play on.
I don't think you would go away with that today.
No, you probably wouldn't. No, not at all. And I tell you what, if I had anything to say about it, I probably got both size 10s right in my chest.
Yeah.
Pretty heavy kick, dude. It was pretty much some stuff. But she was good though. She was like very aggressive, and she came out like growling, and I'm like, I'm a little afraid. So like, the whole gimmick was me like keep getting in her face, and like, no, I don't want to keep getting in her face, and obviously never again because one kick's all it took. So respect
You know,
for
wrestler.
wrestling.
Who was the one that like really smashed Brie in the face? Brie Bella. Oh, Brie Bella smashed some other chick in the face.
Yeah,
She did like for real.
there's been a few, and that
Yeah.
whole thing with the one girl Bianca Blair with the long dreadlocks, and supposedly she whipped. I can't believe I forgot the name of the wrestler. That she whipped her like right across the back, and she had this gigantic, like split open cut and welt. So yeah, it's pretty nasty from hair. So
I know,
yeah.
but like the props, like you don't kill someone throwing a chair at them. Like you really have to be careful.
True, and like a lot, so there was the video. I should have loaded it. There's a video of Mick Foley, who was Cactus Jack, etc., back in the day in wrestling, and him and Triple H were wrestling on top of a steel cage, and Mick like tries to put him in a like a power bomb, where like he puts his head between his legs and is trying to pick up his body and power bomb. He goes to pick up his leg, and Triple H stops him and flips him over. And Foley goes through the top of the cage into the mat, and the mat just caves in, and he's just laying there like he's dead. It's like horrendous looking.
That's horrifying. Yeah, anything with the neck injuries. Oh my god. Or you hit someone right on the temple, like they're done. You're done. Your lives are over.
It's happened. Like even like legendary guy like Bret Hart got kicked in the head by Goldberg by accident, concussion they never recovered from, and then he ended up having a stroke. His career's long over, but stuff like that. It really is a science. There really is a little bit to it.
Be afraid.
I'd be very, very
But
afraid.
I have your next tattoo.
Oh, I want it because I don't have any yet, so this is gonna be my first tattoo. I'm
Your
very
first
excited.
and only and next tattoo. You can get a tattoo of a foot long and get free Subway for life.
Really?
Yeah.
So what if I show my foot long?
No, it has to be a tattoo.
Oh, damn it. I could tell them that's a tattoo.
Where would you even get that? On your leg? Like,
Right, where
on your
exactly?
back?
Like, can you imagine like being at work and like taking care of a client and like this big Subway hoagie?
There's just no way you can make that look cool.
No, absolutely not.
Tuna
And
hoagie.
I eat Subway a lot. I go there a lot because we're only like 5 minutes from my work, and I enjoy the Supreme Meats. I don't know if you're a Subway person, but if you ever go, get the Supreme Meats. It's like ham and it's like capicola and salami, provolone cheese. I'm gonna tell you how to get it. Get it toasted. A little bit of lettuce, a little bit of tomato, a little bit of onion. They got the Parmesan vinaigrette and just a little line of mayo. It's phenomenal. Get it. It's just phenomenal sandwich. And people are like Subway, but it's good.
I like Subway. I used to get their, chicken teriyaki. I like their cheddar biscuit bread,
I've never
whatever it's
had
called.
their cheddar
Honey.
biscuit.
Not whatever. It's not cheddar biscuit, but it's like big cheese and bread. I don't know. It's probably fattening.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Even though Subway's supposed to be like the healthier option. But
Okay.
yeah. So
I
yeah,
think
so
Subway.
anyway,
Until you get
I-
food poisoning.
right, exactly. That kills the Subway just a little bit. So I'm gonna try and find this picture, Joel, because like I said, I did this 80s party thing at Murphy's over the weekend, and of course made me shave my beard. My wife's like, if you really want to, and I didn't think about it, I just started clipping. And after the clipping was done, I'm like, yeah, I don't like it at all. But trying to find my wonderful 80s. Here it is. This is just terrific. Here is my 80s
my.
outfit. I got the big fake Zach Morris phone and the sunglasses and the trimmed down hair, and I got a little dad bod, which wasn't very 80s, but
That's a cool background.
the background was cool. I guess they did. Thanks. Wow. Wow.
Cool
Yeah, the
outfit,
background's
bro.
cool. The rest of
I
it.
think you wore that before, though. Isn't that like a mix of like Pitbull and Zach Morris and all your other Halloween
What's-
costumes?
Actually, no. The Pitbull one was a tan suit that I vomited all over, so that suit
Ah.
is gone. The Zach Morris it was funny because my father-in-law ended up going, and Cassie's like, "I'll give him the Zach Morris jacket," and he wouldn't wear it. I still got a Bayside jacket upstairs in my closet,
Oh my god. Oh, that's right. That's right. You're right.
and I admitted it.
80s are fun. I don't know who I would dress like. I could get the big
That's-
hair down. I could poof it out. I know that.
Oh, you would have to do the poofed hair. I tried to get my wife to do the poofed hair, but yeah, she wasn't
It's
really down
tough.
for that. It is tough,
Wreaks havoc.
but a lot of people like characters. Like the guy Sean went as Rick Vaughn from Major League.
That's cool.
Wild Thing Lacey. He had the glasses and the cutoff shirt. That was cool. A group of people went as like the whole Scooby Doo gang. Like there was
Oh,
a
neat.
Fred and there was a Daphne and a.
Not 70s.
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. 70s, 80s. Scooby Doo had a long run. There's even some 90s Scooby Doo, but unfortunately, like my favorite, who's Velma, the Velma didn't show
Oh no. Cool.
because like Velma's like the big. All the cosplayers with the sexy Velma. That's like very in right now.
Yeah, you could do. I was actually just looking at, San Diego Comic Con just passed, and I was like, where the hell was the Philly one? Like, I could not have missed it. The one I went to for years was Wizard World. That's where I saw Stan Lee and all the Avengers. Lou Ferrigno. So, and they changed the name, and now it's Fan Expo. So if you see any of those, but I know now there's so many. There's a great Philadelphia Comic Con. There's Fan Expo, anime shows. Like, I'm lost. I'm down for it all, but yeah, it's
hear you.
not the same.
It's funny you mentioned my buddy Christian Rupert, who we do the collecting with, etc., said that this year we're going to New York Comic Con. I thought he was nuts. He's like, I'm doing it, dude. I'm getting tickets. We're going to New York Comic Con. I'm excited. Like, I don't really know who to expect or what to expect.
When is it?
I don't know. I got to get details from him and, like, hop aboard.
I'm gonna go be She-Hulk. I want to be She-Hulk.
Yeah, see, that's cool. Like, and like the She-Hulk, like I said, like she's not overly broad. People are like, she don't really have muscles. But if you ever seen Jewel in public, Jewel's tall and she's got like a presence of like the actress that plays She-Hulk. I think that would be awesome for you.
I think I'm definitely doing that for Halloween. But she's when they animate her, she's very tall and muscular. So
Yeah, but not super muscular now. And that's with some of the bits. Like, oh, she's not like super strong like the Hulk is. And I'm like,
more than Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman was supposed to be just as muscular. She was this
right?
big Amazon with muscles. She wasn't a model twig.
Little model twig thing. I gotta find that. One of these episodes, I'm gonna post that picture of Jules Wonder Woman. It's phenomenal. Jules,
When Wonder Woman was like taller than Superman. Like, I
really?
don't know. She was like a beast. She didn't fit the
Did not
part.
know. I did not
I
know
stand by my.
We were
Yes.
speaking a few minutes ago with the whole damn mess about Eddie Vedder, and of course, Eddie Vedder's health has led to some cancellations of Pearl Jam shows. Now, apparently, he was stuck in like some kind of wildfire and inhaled a bunch of smoke, and it's like damaged his voice. His health hasn't been right. Did you hear anything about this? Because to me, that's a pretty crazy way to have your career put on hold or end or anything of that nature.
I didn't hear about that. You would think it would happen to more stars because all the stars are out there, you know. Lita Ford canceled on us because she had a wildfire in her backyard.
Yes.
So like
We still love you, Lita.
that's kind of wild. I just saw a post and it's like when you see Eddie Vedder, what song do you think of?
That's
What do you
good.
think of?
I think of Porch because I think of the MTV live version where they did Porch and his hair just flying and them kind of end the show with it and they're all standing on the stool spinning around and all that. So but that's like my favorite Pearl Jam song. And not that
Yeah?
I'm not a massive Pearl Jam fan, but that and Spin the Black Circle, like a lot of people are like, why do you like weird Pearl Jam songs? I absolutely love Spin the Black Circle, which is probably their most obscure song, and a lot of people don't like it. I love that song.
I don't even know it, but I'll give it a listen.
Sure, it's a little more like straight rock, like not that there are other stuff on it. It's less alternative rock, more like just like a straight rock song, and I always
Yeah.
dug it. What do you think of it? That's actually a great question. I like that. We should do that more often.
Go give me a cup. I love Yellow Ledbetter.
Yes, that's a great song.
I love Better Man. My dad really loved Better Man, so he would play it all the time, and he like got it down, like he could really nail it on the guitar. I think my favorite Pearl Jam song is "Release Me," though. It's just
That's a good song.
some
Yeah.
powerful shit. Oh, this spider.
Oh my god! I see the web. Oh my god!
I hate spiders.
Same.
So normally we announce double guests. We do have a double guest show tonight, as the one and only Miss Hannah Banana is in the house. Hi.
Look
Loves-
at his
She
puppy.
loves to kiss me when she's on the program.
Oh
Good evening, Miss Hannah. Welcome to the show. Woof, woof. Look, she loves to get kissed. Look,
my god.
she's just too cute. Hi, Bobby. So
Hi,
welcome to the
Bobby.
show. You smell good too. Mommy gave her a little bath
Oh
today
my god!
because.
I want to pet that dog.
Oh, come over sometime, anytime. Come over and pet the dog. Her and Henry are just like, so look at your face. This is
Let
adorable.
me that dog.
You can go play with it. Have a little play date.
Yeah, anytime. Door's always open. Her and Henry, although she tortures poor Henry to death. She's kind of amazed at what's going on. She's looking all around. She doesn't quite know what to do. Want to say something to the microphone? She's so tiny too. You wouldn't believe she's like that got her head up. She's actually like mostly bones, and they say she won't get much bigger. She's like maybe 4 pounds. They say that's
his
his
bigger than that.
That's as big as she gets. Like Cassie's like, we got to keep feeding her, and the vet said they're not going to get much bigger. They only make it to about 4 or 5 pounds.
Oh my god, my cat's 20 pounds.
Oh my god! Want to go back
She's
down?
so cute.
We'll go get Henry. Isn't she
She's
cute?
chilling.
Hannah,
Oh,
ladies and
watch it.
gentlemen.
It's not all the way on.
The
So watch
adorable
it.
Miss Hannah. Although she likes to wake up at 5 a.m. She like refuses to sleep. It's pretty brutal.
My dog is like the opposite. My dog will like maybe lift her head, and then when I get up, she's like, "Okay, let's go." She was always a great sleeper. I lucked out with that though.
Oh, I agree. That's a little late, but I would never miss a concert for 790 million either. But yeah, Hannah does not like sleep. Henry loves to sleep. Hannah hates sleeping. I've never seen anything like it. Just
God.
refuses to sleep.
Like lazy animals. Get up when I get up.
Now, you know what I noticed tonight, Joel, and I still can't see it on my end here through the phone because I try to watch the comments. Mike Huff and Jen Himes both got in with Facebook comments. So maybe it's
Oh.
working again. So if you're on Facebook, try to drop us a comment, see if it's working because so far we got a couple in there. Cassie Watts on YouTube, Steph is on YouTube, Austin, YouTube, Nachus, Twitch, of course, my man Nachus. I love it. I love that. We adopted a Twitch guy pretty much out of nowhere, and he's become.
What does anniversary follower mean? That's what it has with Mike's comment.
Anniversary. I did shave, Jen. Thank you for noticing it. I
Anniversary
hate it.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Anniversary follow? I don't like. See, Jen, if you look, it's more of a shadow. It's not even really a beard. I'm gonna let it grow back to the beard, though. I don't like the shadow. I
Guys have wedges.
actually hate it. But thank you for noticing.
It'll grow.
It'll
Yeah, they have badges though. Jen's has a 5. Mike's has a 1. That's weird. I don't know what that is.
Now somebody can't get enough tonight. Usually she's scared to come on. Tonight she can't get enough.
Aw,
I know, right?
just let her hang out.
Well, ready? Go to YouTube and follow the Yo Show. Follow us on Twitch and the Stoop Radio Network. Make my daddy famous. Hannah, ladies and gentlemen. You're so cute, my goodness. Her says, there's Henry. Of course, I guess he sees Hannah on the show. He might actually be seeing her on TV and is barking at her. That might be what that is. Because it's delayed. So I know Cassie was watching. She probably sees her on TV. So
I
Jen says
believe
anniversary follower number 2. That's pretty cool. Anniversary follower 2. He does. He sees animals on TV and goes nuts.
I
And
was
again-
over at Jeff's house and Ace Ventura was on and his dog went berserk.
He was going absolutely berserk. And it's funny because, like, oh, I'm watching. Look at her on the TV, oh, little Hannah. Because even the vet's like, oh, dogs don't really watch TV. And I'm telling you, he puts his head on my knee. We're in bed. He puts his head, like, on my knee and angles it up and watches the TV. And when dogs come on or any kind of animal, even cartoons, he goes nuts. Liberty Mutual, that bird, he goes nuts for that. The commercials with the starving dogs, that was on last night. He went
Sarah
berserk.
McLachlan.
And these poor, like, underprivileged dogs are getting abused by Henry. Not abused, but, you know.
She goes, when Eagles are on, she'll like, her and my sister's cat, they'll like kick the field goal, like when the field goal goes up,
Yeah.
they'll swat it. It's funny.
Now, then in testing it again, now my good friend Anda Candelario said, "Great show, guys." But it didn't make it here. It made it here, but not here. Anna, thank you for watching, by the way.
Maybe
Anna was
because
at the
she's
80s
not
party, too.
an anniversary follower.
Maybe you have to be some kind of anniversary follower to be able to get your
We have like
comments
an
in.
exclusive club. We have a Patreon. It's a very
right.
big deal.
That's right.
Nice money.
Pay us. But thank you for the
You can get
compliment.
exclusive
I do
content.
appreciate it. I just love when people watch. And I realized, like, when I went into Murphy's, like, Greg is, like, a big deal with the chicks. I don't know if I should be saying that. But again, all the women love him there at Murphy's. He's quite the big deal. He's trying to put a show together at Murphy's with Poet and a couple other bands. I mentioned it to Moonroof, and they said they'd be down. And hopefully this is something that he can make happen, like a local live show. Kind of like an emo night, but like, you know, a bunch of different bands. I would love to have that happen. And Jewel and I have talked about some stuff that we're trying to make happen. We just want to entertain and get out and help entertain. And speaking of entertaining and people that do a great job, I got to mention this again for my good friend Andrew, who I met over the weekend. Comedy on the Creek is just one of the best, absolute greatest shows you can watch. And I'm going to give it there. There it is right there. It's Comedy on the Creek, hosted by Andrew Duck. It's at Blue Monkey Catering in Levittown. Joel, for $45, you get a meal. You get a lineup of terrific comedians. Bring your own beer or bring your own drink. Beautiful venue. And I'm telling you, the comedians, because we saw it, you came with me way back when it was at the bar, outside at the that bar. And I'm telling you, it's like a whole nother show now. The comedians are just excellent. Everyone is great. everyone has a great laugh. Like I said, bring your own. The food is great. Blue Monkey Catering, Chef Clark does the cooking, and you kind of help yourself to a buffet first. You sit, you talk, and mingle with your table, and then the comedy blows up, and it goes on for close to 2 hours. It's just a terrific time.
That's awesome. So is it at that location or different?
It's actually at the Blue Monkey Catering Hall, which is in Levittown, up by
Oh,
Mary Ann's.
yeah.
Mary Ann's, but yeah, it's right there in that center, and they fit maybe 50, 60 people. They always sell out. Like they've got the playoffs and the championship round coming up. Me and Cassie put our name on the list for the championship round. Andrew, if you're out there or you watch later, the championship round. But it's hard to pick, dude. They're so like we saw the show out at the bar. There were some good ones, but now they're all good, and it gives you a little ballot to pick a winner. It's so hard.
Oh,
They're so
man.
good.
That's crazy. Yeah, I saw some in the Challenger. They're like big deal comedians.
Yeah, they've got it, and they get them from Jersey and New York and PA, and some of them come in for the night, and they're fun to talk to after, and you kind of make yourself part of the show. My big mouth does because I mouth off, and they all come right back. It's amazing how fast people are. I always thought I was fast with comebacks. These guys are great. It's hilarious.
They have to be. They wear Teflon. Comes right
Right?
back at you.
You're absolutely not kidding there. So Comedy on the Creek, I think the season comes to an end, I think, in October. ComedyOnTheCreek.com. Find them on Facebook and look it up and check it out because, like I said, even if you don't go this year, it'll definitely be back next year. They're on an absolute roll. My wife, Andrew, Jess, we got out over the weekend, had some food, just talked about the success of it. Talk about maybe a bigger venue in their future, maybe working in the O show and some bands and just a lot of projects we're thinking about. Of course, we got to make sure that we respect their project and their name, etc. Because you don't want to go in and they're making it. We don't want to go in and destroy that. Even though we wouldn't. We're professional. We're all about really the dedication of the artists. But yeah, like he said, he's like, kind of roll those dice and get out to the people. He says, just be prepared and be willing to maybe flop if it flops, or be ready to keep bringing it if it booms. So
That's really exciting. Yeah, hopefully I can get there sometime in August. Kind of tied up in the next 2 weeks, but yeah, I would love to get out and get to a show. I know they got the finals coming up.
yeah,
Um, that looks like the weekend you're in Nashville, though, right?
I believe so. Yeah, matter of fact, the week I'm in Nashville, I kind of teeter-tottered on what we're going to do with the Yo show because I had lined up Vinland, but I think I'm going to be actually flying back home when the show hits. So I messaged them, and I haven't heard from them yet. I did get another great one, though. So we had the BA sisters on last week, who we forgot to thank, by the way. Thank you to the amazing BA sisters. Great following, great girls, super badass rock stars. We had a great time with them, but they have advertised this to other people, and this fellow here is a international rock star, Sergio Michel. He's going to be on the show Tuesday, September 20th. Just announced, and he came out to us and says, "Hey, the BA sisters told me to check you guys out. That you love music and musicians." I'm like, "Man, it's really cool." So reached out to him. He's going to be on the show September 20th. He's got a lot of great music to promote. Pretty big star, so we're pretty excited for that. And we're doing the Yo 2.0 thing tomorrow night. Yo 2.0 will be on. Kenny Sheffel, of course, will join us. Kenny's going to talk about the local concert scene, his work with Live Nation, of course. We'll
Is
talk
he gonna
about-
be on tomorrow?
Yeah, he's going to be on tomorrow. We're
I have to
gonna do,
work,
like-
but I'll tune in.
we're going to do like a segment tonight where him kind of talk about the concert. He said tonight was a bad night, and he said he'll definitely come on Wednesday night. We got another great guest for Yo 2.0 Wednesday, August 10th, an adorable young lady, country singer Katie Ziegler, who I just spoke with. I just discovered her, and she's actually making her first like solo single. She's getting ready to come out with it. And she's like in the studio now, putting it together. Message her, say, "Hey, something on Facebook. How about coming on the show?" She goes, "Oh my God, I'm thrilled. I'd love to come on the show." So we're piling so many of these great ones up, Jewel. I feel bad that some of them can't be Tuesday, but we're so booked. Like Tuesdays like slam packed for like God going into October, and then of course October we got to get Halloween show together. we got to get a great Halloween. I got a guest in
Yes.
mind. I got a guest in mind. This person has said maybe to the show in the past. I had to be a massive fan of this woman. I think she is sexy, and she also does like the good goth thing and the evil things. We'll see if we can get her on. I of course want to invite Lydia Manson either way because Lydia was freaking awesome for Halloween as well. We love Halloween here on the show, so there's a lot coming up.
Okay. So exciting. Summer's like over.
Summer's over.
Yeah. Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Pretty much, yeah. We're kicking into August. God, there's even people I didn't announce, but again, Sunday, August 7th. If you get the chance, if tickets are still left, the tickets were $7, Joel, to go see Sepsis and Nailbite at Love Draft Brewing. I'm like $7. Like you cannot beat a live show with like big time talent. These aren't like just some new coming bands. They're two pretty big bands.
Oh yeah. I was confused because there's a band called Catbite too from Philly. I think I asked them to be on before, but yeah, Sepsis. I'm so upset, but
Yeah.
it'll be a great time.
I do love me some Sepsis. I mean, the whole band, William and Cam and Melissa, and every time they post something, it's just like, I'm putting the horns up, like, see you in a couple weeks. And Hans, who now works with the band, and just the whole thing is just Lexi, who does a lot of their merchandising and PR work. She's going to be there. We're talking to her about it. Just super stoked, man. They're saying not only is it going to be a great show, but it's going to be a big party. And I don't know if you know or not, but the Yo Show likes to party. No bet.
Well, you better, go and see if you can get that exclusive content.
Oh, I like it. I mean, I've got a hotel room. I'm staying there. Like, I'm not even coming home. I'm out there.
Well, that's a
And-
smart move.
Yeah, I thought about it for like a millisecond. But again, I'm definitely staying out there. Like, there's no way I'm coming home. And oh God, one more piece of news I gotta hit you with because this floored me, and this is like as Rockstar gets. So Skid Row, of course, the band Skid Row broke off with Sebastian Bach several years ago, and in my opinion, Bach is one of the best names in rock and one of the best frontmen. So Skid Row was on tour, and at their latest stop, Sebastian Bach performed a free solo concert right down the street. Is that like the biggest ass kick ever? Like, oh, your show's there? I'm going to play for free right down the street.
Oh my God.
Is that true rock star move or what?
That is some vengeance.
That is, to me, though, I mean, I read this story and I couldn't believe it. I'm like, no way is that real. And then I started reading it. It's very real. But see, I don't know. I don't know about you, but we talk about like bands and if somebody goes, you replace them. But for legendary like 80s rock bands like Skid Row, Queensryche is one I see advertising a lot, no longer with Jeff Tate. I don't like that. That's not my thing. What about you? I mean, does it matter that much? It matters to me, but
I don't know. I guess I would feel differently if I like grew up with that and that was the band. There hasn't been a band that I was really connected to that's had that happen. But like we said last week with the BA sisters, as long as they do it justice, but again, it's not going to be the same. And even just seeing bands now, like, I don't know, there is something different about seeing a band in their heyday with the original members that just can't be replaced.
agreed. And when I got to see like Robert Plant and Jimmy Page, I mean, they do these Zeppelin shows, if you will, and they did some in the past. And it's great, but it's not Led Zeppelin. It's as close as I'm ever going to get. So to me, I tout like, yeah, I saw Led Zeppelin, but it's not Zeppelin. But like these bands, like Skid Row, of course, I mean, that is Sebastian Bach. And Queensryche, that is Jeff Tate. So you bring in another singer to try to carry the weight of these bands, to me, it doesn't work.
Yeah. I don't know. I was also just thinking about the Backstreet Boys, how they were in town like last week.
Yeah, they were.
I'm like, I have no desire to see them. And I saw them like 10 times, but I just don't have it in me. Maybe if I was like still talking to my best friend and we would like go as a team and like go see them again, but I don't know. Maybe it's different.
JD Wolf is in the house. Hannah says hi. Jules says hi. JD Wolf, one of our great fans.
She's chilling. You need one of those like backpacks that you just sit
I know,
around.
right? That she would just sit right there. She's definitely chilling though. Mommy gave her a nice bath today. She had a little accident earlier, so Mommy had to bathe her
Aw.
up for a night. She smells terrific. She's such a little doll. I said, except when it's bedtime. I've never seen a dog that barks so much. Sepsis was on. Oh, Sepsis was on. Well, I don't, I don't blame her for being late here watching Sepsis instead. I get it. I absolutely I love Melissa Wolf. I love that band. I love the people involved. Like I said, the Swarm is just a great fan base and it's terrific. So I understand that. I get it. I'll let you slide. We love you, JD. As long as you still love us. Yes, Jeff this year. I hate the look on my face. Hopefully next week my beard will grow. Just a little bit more. And of course, next week we are back on a program with Bees. Very excited for that one. Bees. And maybe, if this show can kick off at Murphy's, maybe invite Bees, maybe get them to perform. Like that would be super cool. So we'll talk to George Powell. He was on last Wednesday from Poeta. Great band, great dude. Right after the show, he's like, "Hey man, come meet me at Murphy's for a beer." And I had several beers. It was like
That's
the old
awesome.
days. It was like the old days of Sweeney's. You know what I mean? Remember, like we would go and
I know.
yeah, I lost something indeed. Most of my beers, and it was so funny because the Wednesday night show ends, and I know Cassie was out. And she was joking around like, I'm going to go to Murphy's. I'm like, okay. And then George comes on the show, and somehow he's like, so I know you're a fan of Murphy's. I'm like, why does he ask my spot? I'm like, holy snap. So after the show's over, I'm winding down. I'm playing my St. Ricketts like I always do. And I get a FaceTime call, and it's her. And she's like, look who's here. And it was George. And I'm like,
Oh my God.
shit. I know. I'm like, I guess I'm going to Murphy's, which is really cool.
See, I got to be more local. This isn't fair.
Right? And I mean, you would have had an absolute blast. And, people ask all the time. I know it sounds funny to some, but like when I do the Wednesday night show, the 2.0 thing, and the goal was to just keep bringing in more guests so we didn't lose people or tell people, yeah, we'll have you on in 8 months. So we do like a second night. And it's for people who might be new to podcasting or people who are in it that want like a little bigger spectrum and to bring their fans on and vice versa. And everybody says to me, like, where's Jewel? Trust me, folks, Jewel ain't going nowhere. I mean, I know she's the Tuesday night, and if the schedule ever changes where she could do Wednesdays too, why would we do 2 nights a week? And Jewel is the heart and soul. That's not going away. The people that do it on Wednesday nights, I appreciate. The people that fill in at times when one of us can't make it, Angela and Lydia and Tiffany, people like that, we do appreciate it. But this is the core, man. This is what we're all about. This is the Yo Show. And just like tonight with Whole Damn Mess, great questions. We improvise questions. We line them up. We laugh and we enjoy it. And we get really into the talent. And I got to thank you, man, because I talk about it all the time. And people talk about the show and ask how we met and etc. And just it's become like this bond that we're different in many ways, but very much alike. That once we hit this stage on a Tuesday night, it's like we're just like one brain, one soul, one everything.
Get it done, and it's always a great show. Tonight was amazing. Whole damn mess. It was so much fun. I'm so glad everyone got to join. I was a little nervous. I'm like, oh, I didn't know if the whole band was going to join, but that was really, really cool. And please listen to their music if you have not. Go on any place that you get your music from and support this band because they really deserve it.
Absolutely. And I'm going to run the scroll again. I'll probably run the scroll as we do the closing credit for Whole Damn Mess. Of course, www.wholedamnmess.com, Instagram at Whole Damn Mess, Facebook Whole Damn Mess, Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube. Check these guys out. Again, I thank them all for the amazing hat they got for my wife. Autographs, the whole 9 yards. Cool bunch of dudes. Don Miggs, C. Todd Nielsen, Lawrence Katz, Greg Hansen, the guys from Whole Damn Mess. We thank them all for coming on tonight. From somewhere as modest as their kids' playroom to their guitar hall to some big fancy Manhattan party.
Hey.
They were here tonight. Hey, the guys from Whole Damn Mess. 10 o'clock, Jules, so we're going to bring it to an end. Do not forget, next Tuesday night, one of our absolute favorites got to be here for Philly band Bees. You got to say it
Yep.
loud. 'cause
I'm
big
coming
ass
from
songs.
a different location next week too, so wish me luck.
We wish you luck, and I do thank you, and I don't want to get too much into it because it's more of a private matter, but the fact that you are taking on a new location, being with us next week means the world to me, and it means a lot to our fans, and I thank you for that, and we will talk about that through the week and just kind of line things up. Just know I'm here, phone call away, man, if you need it, support, talk, more show shit, whatever you need, I'm here. We're here for all of you as well. Every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock, Jeff the Shark Perini and the gorgeous Miss Jewel Tatey here on the Yo Show. Don't forget to check it out next week, The Amazing Bees. All right, let's stop screen and let's reload screen and let's get ready for some St. Ricketts to take us home. But fire cannot burn. www.strickus.com. And speaking of St. Ricketts, do not forget tomorrow night, Yo 2.0 with the one and only Mr.
Yeah.
Pete Sheffel. We're going to talk about a
Renee.
little bit of, going to talk about all his local music because the guy plays every venue in the freaking city. He's also going to talk about some Live Nation concert scene. That is tomorrow night, Yo 2.0. For Jewel Tatey, I'm Jeff the Shark Perini. Have yourselves a great evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Make sure to go back then. And make sure the volume's up. I always screw this up. Whoops, see, volume was all the way down. All right, let's get the hell out of here. Good night, everybody.
Night.
Was it truly blessed? The taste of it poison deeper than you know. Kindly answer this. Was the point of it just to reach new heights of low? So I'm pulling the anchor and drifting away, blinded by reason beyond disarray. It's what fire cannot burn. It's what fire cannot burn. Wanted to embrace what it takes for it, pouring salt into the world, willing to erase what I'd lose for it, to accept what I assume. So I'm pulling the anchor and drifting away, blinded by reason beyond disarray. It's what fire cannot burn. It's what fire cannot, searching for something, destined for nothing, losing composure over and over. Truly bliss if the taste of it poison deeper than you know. Kindly answer this. Was the point of it just to reach new heights of love?